Guten Morgen, lads and lassies, and welcome back to the YouTube. We're joined by Tim, and today we're going to be riding the boat. But before we begin, look at the colour of the lake. I don't know. Do you think we're going to die?
Yeah.
It's like a vegetable soup in there. Anyway, we're going to get boarded up and we'll get into
It's like one of those dirty kale smoothies.
Do you know what it is? Do you know what it actually is? It's like the McDonald's. They do like the St. Patrick's Day milkshakes.
Oh yeah.
That's exactly what it is.
Spot on.
Ugh. Anyway.
Guten afternoon, lads and lassies.
It is many hours later. So basically what happened was, you would have seen it earlier. Weather was pristine. Got the boat ready. We're all excited to go, and then just out of nowhere, just wind everywhere. Nonetheless, Tim has got my wakeboard. Are you excited, Tim?
I was excited when it was calm and flat. Now I'm a little bit more apprehensive about learning the wake to bike, but we'll see what happens.
So, funnily enough, so I was like, Tim, like, the challenge today is... So, long story short, Tim's been riding the rib, but now, I mean, she's no Centurion, very far from it. But we've got this, which is just a little bit bigger of a wake. Again, not very big. And Tim's been doing some pretty decent wake to wakes on that, but it's also like 3 feet wide. So I was like, today's challenge is wake to wake, and well, Tim was giving it big man now that he's progressing so much on the cable. He was like, what do you mean? I reckon like 2 wake to wakes and I'll be doing 360. And if you know, you know, learning on the boat is a lot more difficult to learning on the cable. And Tim, my friend, you're about to find this out. Hopefully not the hard way. So yeah, today, that's the plan. Tim, this will be the biggest wake you've ever ridden.
Will it?
We will, yeah, I think we will.
Okay.
Well, have you ridden anything bigger?
No.
But one day we'll get him out in a Centurion, and I think he'll probably be like, oh my goodness. But anyway, so that's the plan. Tim's going to go out, feel out the wake, just do some one wake jumps, and then when he's feeling right, and if we get some calm stretch, wake to wake.
Perfect. Sorry about that.
Fun fact, when I was about 13, I built this rail. As you can see, it's pretty sketchy. But yeah, it still lives on. It was about 3 times the length and twice as high, but the base is still there.
Do I go for it?
Yeah.
What?
You're very tangled. Driving whilst filming.
Is this just going to reach me out of the water now?
No, I'll be easy. You ready?
Yeah.
Now as Tim comes in for his very first attempt, you'll see it's quite choppy. He's coming in with a lot of speed. His timing standing tall there is a little bit early. Take a look at the replay. A little bit early, a lot of cross speed, and his arms are a little bit too high up against his chest. Tim coming in for his second attempt. Now Tim has got some determination here as he comes in nice and hard. He's got a lot of angle against the wake, however that's not always good. A lot of speed, and as we look on the replay here, his arms are still very far away from his chest. Stands up, and as soon as he does, his backhand comes off the handle. That's not ideal. It's okay to take it off, but ideally you want to do it when you've at least reached the summit of the jump. Confidence is peaking as he's now on the calm section of the lake, which is still quite windy, and Tim comes in nice and strong. He's in a very low position. His handle's actually in quite a good position as he comes in strong. At this point you can see he's actually stood up tall a little bit too early, and then the moment he gets into the air, the backhand comes off. Nonetheless, makes it most of the way across, and it is a pretty good attempt for attempt number 3. So that was a really good attempt. So the biggest thing, and if you watch my tutorial on how to wake jump, is that basically it's all about the timing of when you stand up. You have to stand up at the top of the wake. Okay, that's really key. So what Tim's doing there is he's standing up and pushing down his hands a little bit off timing. I think a little bit earlier. I need to watch it back just to confirm. I'll put it on the screen after I watch it back and tell him. But yeah, so if you just stand up, I think a little bit later and push down a little bit later, you'll get a lot more pop. Another top tip that we're gonna do, it's basically cheating. Sorry, I'm driving and filming. That's why this pylon keeps getting in the way. But top tip for this, if we shorten the rope a cheeky like 3 feet, 4 feet, it's gonna make the wake a bit narrower and make Tim's job a little bit easier. Shorter rope, how's the confidence feeling?
Shorter should make it smaller distance, but smaller pop, so I don't know.
It's a catch-22. Right, after a quick pep talk, Tim is back. He comes in really nicely, but doesn't quite get the release off the wake. Let's take a look at that replay and see what went on. So, on the approach, the body position's good. As he gets to the wake, it's almost like he forgets to take off or maybe leaves it too late. Backhand comes off, cases the second wake, and that is the end of that. Despite the treacherous conditions, Tim Hone decides to persevere. With a big smile on his face, he approaches the wake and his body position is good, nice and low, and he stands up at the right time whilst pushing down on the handle at the right time, gets into the air, 2 hands on, lands, and he just ever so slightly cases that second wake, but with a bit more speed, it will all be gravy. So truth be told, Tim turned around to me and he said, "Dave, I want to go home. I want to have a hot shower and I want to get out of this water." But nonetheless, he persevered and he cut out wide. And his approach was good. His takeoff was spot on. The timing was perfect. He takes his second hand off in the air. He lands it wake to wake, clean as a whistle. You happy?
Relatively.
You did a clean one.
Yeah.
And on the long rope.
No doubt, bigger weight exploits all your problems.
That's actually it. So what Tim just said there is actually such a good point. So bigger wakes are amazing, particularly if obviously you're wake surfing. A bigger wave helps a lot. With wakeboarding it can help a lot. However, unless you're kind of good enough to control it, or you've maybe learnt with the ballast empty, the kind of trade-off to it is that big wakes exaggerate big problems. Kobe Mikasic told me that years and years ago, and I live by it. So that's one of the things that Tim kind of even noticed. This wake isn't big at all, but in comparison, it kind of exaggerated your timing issues and stuff, didn't it?
Yeah, fully. Like when you're on the rib, so much room for error, so much room to correct. And then on the cable, it's like even more extreme. Whereas as the wake gets bigger, it just starts to exploit everything.
Exactly. So back to the old basics. Alright, so we're just coming to an end here, and I'm going to be honest, not the best conditions, an absolute disaster to film this on my own whilst in like a really narrow section. And like Tim basically had like one spot where he could do a trick, and then it's like turn around, do another trick, turn around, do another trick. Bit of a nightmare. But Tim, like, it's not your first wake to wakes, but it's your first wake to wakes on, let's say, anything that's not a really like kind of jet ski size wake. What are your biggest kind of take homes?
Biggest take homes. The first thing that I think shocks me, and I'd say it'll shock anyone else, is boat versus cable. Like cable, I'm just about starting to get back rolls, 360s, and I was thinking I'm going to come here and just rip out the same tricks. No chance. Like the wake will put manners on you.
It's a different animal.
It is.
Okay, what's number 2?
Number 2 is definitely timing. Like the difference of learning the line tension, getting a slow progressive edge, pushing down, all milliseconds apart can just mean the difference of getting huge airborne and then absolutely bin yourself.
Unreal. Well, there you go. Tim is learning at a great rate, as you know, and I feel like people are quite enjoying, because obviously it's one thing me standing here on my high horse learning this 10 years ago and then just doing tutorials. It's another thing seeing someone learn it who's also pushing on 30. No, he's not actually. Look, he just got Tim's 25. But you know what I mean, seeing someone who's grown up, who's not a child, able to progress quite quickly by just really consuming the information and then applying it when he's out in the water. So Good job, Tim. Thanks so much for watching. Obviously not the most incredible, it's not sunny, it's actually raining as we speak. Such is life. A bad, windy, cold, wet session on the water is better than no session. I'll leave that one with you.